Hooty hoo, all my stock market gamblers. Welcome today. I'm Tall Mike. So glad you're here. What do we got going on? Well, the markets, we had that little bit of a pullback, and then we're trying to bounce now. We're trying to bounce back up. Now, can they push this market up higher, right? I don't think they can do that with the Russell. I think the Russell already has started a bear market. I think the Dow Jones already started a bear market, but the S&P, it kind of looks like they want to push it up one more time. Now, we got the Donald's inauguration next week, right? And he's very optimistic on the stock market. He's a stock market guy, right? I mean, he measures how well he's doing by the stock market, and there's a lot of optimism out there that he can push this market up higher. So maybe we get one more push up higher in the S&P. Maybe we can even get it to a new record around 62, 6,300 before it starts the bear market along with the Russell, along with the Dow. We'll see how that plays out. That's just my take. You moon boys, you may have a completely different take. You may think it's going to go from here, and that's okay. You're entitled to your take. Anyways, we'll see how that plays out. Now, today I want to go a different direction, right? I want to talk about how much gold, how much silver, and how much Bitcoin you should have. Now, I see a lot of these YouTube channels, they're all talking about this, mainly with gold and silver, and they all have a number set. Like some of them say, oh, you should have like 1,000 ounces of silver. Oh, you should have 10 to 20 ounces of gold. Look, it's different for each individual, right? I mean, maybe you're poor, living paycheck to paycheck. Maybe you just want to start stacking and buy 1 ounce of silver a week. It's still around $30. You can get an ounce of silver. That'd be a way to start stacking real money. But as far as an exact, precise quantity that you should have, I don't think there's any number, right? I mean, I would have all of my wealth in gold and silver that I don't want to lose. The amount I want to lose, well, I'd have that in the banks, right? If you're okay with losing that, banks are in a lot of trouble. Okay, so I would have the wealth in the gold and silver, but how much should you have? It's all relative. You know, if it's your stacking level. Don't put it all in at once. Put it in over time. The price will fluctuate up and down, especially in the silver market. Silver can be very volatile. Now, silver is a really good buy right now compared to gold. Now, why is that? Well, it's 90 ounces of silver to every 1 ounce of gold. That's a ratio of 90 to 1. That's extremely high. Now, it's been as high as 120 to 1, so it could still go higher. The ratio could still get up to 100 to 1, 120 to 1. But what does it come out of the ground at? Now, it used to come out of the ground at 14 to 1. 14 ounces of silver to every 1 ounce of gold. But that's shifted in recent times. Now, why is that? Why has it shifted? It used to be 14 ounces of silver, 1 ounce of gold. It's shifted now. Right now, it's coming out of the ground at 7 ounces of silver to 1 ounce of gold. Well, what happened? What changed? Is it technology? Not really. It's that we have to mine deeper and deeper into the ground, right? So silver floats up to the top of the surface. The farther you go down, the less and less silver it is. Silver has this, I don't know, some element in it that makes it go up to the surface, right? Where gold doesn't have that element in it, and it stays pretty even throughout, no matter how deep you go into the surface of the earth. But as you go deeper and deeper into the surface of the earth, you get less and less silver. So silver has now shifted from 14 ounces to 1 ounce of gold all the way down to 7 ounces to 1 ounce of gold. Therefore, the ratio at 90 to 1, silver is an incredible buy. But Mike, why is it at 90 to 1 if it comes out of the ground at 7 to 1? We got these bankers, right? The banksters, they're shorting it. They got naked shorts on 6 billion ounces naked short in the banking system. B of A by itself has 1 billion ounces short. They're manipulating it down lower and lower. And JP Morgan, they top traders, they're still sitting in jail. They got caught manipulating the silver market. Look it, silver is a manipulated market. But Mike, why do you buy silver if the market's being manipulated? Well, that's why I buy silver, because I know the real value. Real value is not at 90 to 1. Real value is at 7 to 1. So why is silver buy right now. It's a great buy right now. Now, I'm not saying it can't go to 100 to 1, 120 to 1, but when it reverts back to its real value, it'll be at 7 to 1 gold to silver. Now, let's talk about gold a little bit. A lot of people, I was talking to a friend just yesterday, right? He's saying he'd love to have some gold, but he can't buy it now because it's at a record high and he's afraid he's going to lose his butt if he buys it right now. And I simply explained to him, yes, it's at a record high. You know what? It's still incredibly cheap. It's a bargain. Now, why do I say that? Why do I say, okay, so right now, let's take a look at the S&P. S&P's up around 6,000, right? Gold down here about 2,700. So S&P 6,000, gold about 2,700. So it's about 2.2 ounces of gold to get one of the S&P. 2.2 to get one. Now that's been drifting down. It used to be 2.6 ounces, but right now we drifted all the way down to 2.2 ounces, right? 2,700 for an ounce of gold, 6,000 on the S&P. Now it's 2.2 to 1, right? Now that's going to flip-flop. It's going to flip-flop. Why do I say it? Well, normal's about 1 to 1, but we're going to overshoot the other way, right? We overshot this way, got up to 2.6, and now we're coming back down 2.2, right? And we're going to flip-flop. We're going to flip-flop. These are going to reverse. It's going to take 2.2 ounces 2.2 S&P to get 1 ounce of gold. Okay, so where would that put gold today? Well, it'd put it right around $12,000. $12,000, Tall Mike. You're talking crazy stuff. I may be crazy, right? But that's still a bargain at $12,000. Now, why do I say that's still a bargain? Because eventually it's going to go 1 to 1 with the Dow Jones. Where's the Dow Jones? I don't know, 43,000, right? 43,000. We're down here, 2,700 on gold. Gold is a bargain down here. It's going to go 1 to 1 with the Dow. And it may overshoot, right? It may overshoot also. Now, it's been 1 to 1 with the Dow 2 times in all history, right? It did it in 1932, did it in 1982. Going to do it again, right? Does it about every 50 years. We're a little overdue, but it's coming, right? Well, no, we're not overdue. It's on its way. It's right around the corner, going to hit in the next, 3 or 4 or 5 years, right? Okay, so you want to get some now. You haven't missed the boat. We're in the first inning. It hasn't even started to run yet. The only thing that's happened so far is the dollar has lost its purchasing power, and that's pushed gold up to where it is today at 2,700, right? 2,700. Okay, well, how's it doing compared to that Bitcoin? Everybody wants Bitcoin, Tall Mike. Why do they want Bitcoin? Well, let's think about this. Let's think about this logically. Bitcoin, where did it peak out? Well, okay, the first time it peaked out was back in 2001, right? 2021, excuse me, wasn't even around in 2001, right? That's how we don't really have a history on it. There's no fundamentals to Bitcoin, and Bitcoin people tell you there's all kinds of fundamentals. I'll tell you, it's really not. And that's why it's my favorite item to trade. I love Bitcoin. People think I hate Bitcoin. I love Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's fabulous. Best trading asset we have, right? Do I want my wealth in there? Absolutely not. Don't put your wealth in Bitcoin. Could lose 80% overnight. I wouldn't sleep too well with my wealth there. But okay, so when we peaked in 2021, right? Peaked around 70,000, 71. I don't know exact numbers. But okay, so it peaked and it was trading at 71,000. That was basically equivalent to 36 ounces of gold to get 1 Bitcoin. Where are we at today? 4 years later. 4 years later, everybody thinks Bitcoin's that's cracked up to be. It's right about the same place. Okay, so it's let's call it 100,000. Takes 36 ounces of gold to get 1 Bitcoin. Same place it was back in 2021. 4 years later, we're at the same place, right? Now, the Bitcoin maximalists, man, they're going to hate this video, right? Okay, so let's talk about something else here, all right? Let's talk about why I think Bitcoin's very dangerous here. And don't get me wrong, I'm a technical chart guy, right? I know patterns. I make a lot of money trading the Bitcoin. Now, the Bitcoin isn't done yet. It's not done here at 100,000. They're going to push it up 110, 115, 120. They're going to push it up until it breaks down below the support levels on the charts, and it's above those levels right now. As long as it stays up there, we're going to push it up higher, right? But here's where Bitcoin parallels to, right? Bitcoin parallels to Dogecoin. Dogecoin has about a 16 billion market cap. You think Dogecoin's going to double to 32 billion? Well, then you want to be in Bitcoin because Bitcoin's going to follow it. Now, if you think Dogecoin's going to crash and burn because it started as a joke, right? It's like Fartcoin, right? Fartcoin's, it's approaching $2 billion market cap on Fartcoin. Isn't that incredible? Look, if you think Fartcoin's going to go to $5 or $10 billion, you want to be in Bitcoin. But I think Fartcoin's going to dissolve. It's going to go away to zero. And Bitcoin's going to follow it down. Bitcoin, it tracks Dogecoin and it tracks Fartcoin. Now, if you follow those, you can figure out what Bitcoin's going to do. Now, we had those fires in LA. Let's talk about that for a second here. We had those fires, right? Insurance companies are in a lot of trouble. $150 billion in damage. Insurance companies, they don't have your money. They have your money in bonds. A lot of them are going to go out of business. A lot of them are going to get bailed out. Look at you people living in other states that aren't California. It's going to really piss you off when the federal money comes and bails out California. I'd be pissed off too. Look, I live in California and I'm pissed off about that, but it's going to take federal money because insurance companies are broke. They've lost the money. They don't have enough to pay the claims. But here's the thing. Rich area, Pacific Palisades, right? Well, when it all burnt down, a lot of those hard wallets were lost. Hard wallets were lost. Let's talk about one guy that lost his hard wallet. Okay, his name's James Howell, right? James Howell, he lost his hard wallet. You know what he had on it? 8,000 Bitcoin, right? He tossed his hard drive out where his hard wallet was on. It's in the landfill. It's in the dump. He's 39 years old. James Howell, he's completely broke. He would be almost a billionaire if he could find his hard drive. So what's he going to do with the rest of his life? He's going to be walking around the landfill looking for a hard drive that has 8,000 Bitcoins on. All wiped out, all lost. Now, when that fire came down on Pacific Palisades, I know a lot of these wealthy people had some Bitcoin, right? They had some hard wallets, and their hard drives just got disintegrated with their Bitcoin on it. Now, what happened to the gold that they were holding in Pacific Palisades? I don't know how hot the fires got, but if they got hot enough, gold might have melted down, and they might just be a clump there. And they can take that clump to a refinery and get 98% of their value, right? 98% of their value. See, gold's got some real value to it. You lost your hard wallet on your hard drive, you're totally hosed, right? Now, here's the thing. Let's say Bitcoin just went away. Let's say it went to $0, right? How would the world really change? What wouldn't we have? Well, we wouldn't. It'd be exactly the same, right? Bitcoin doesn't do a thing. If Bitcoin went away, nobody would really miss it. The world would go on as it is, right? Now, what if gold and silver went away? There's no more gold and silver. The world would come to a complete standstill to stop, right? You can't even have Bitcoin without gold and silver. Look at your iPhone. Look at your computer. It takes gold and silver to make those. The internet takes gold and silver. Gold and silver runs the world. Has real value. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Bitcoin. Love to trade Bitcoin up and down, up and down. 50%, it's going to go one way or the other. It may go up to 150, but I guarantee you it's going to get cut in half pretty soon. You see, people say, but Mike, you're just a boomer. You don't understand Bitcoin at all. Well, here's what I do understand. I've been a trader for most of my life, right? And right now you got Bitcoin in the belly of the beast. You got it on the commodity futures exchanges. You got it on the ETFs. These things are really easy for the professional traders to slam it. Now, they're not getting ready to slam it yet. Once it breaks that support level, there's going to be so much money made to the downside. Look, you can play this both ways. I'm saying to get out there and gamble. Don't be a diamond hands because you're going to lose 80% of your money. I get these comments, Mike, you don't like Bitcoin. You got to understand. I love Bitcoin. It's what I trade the most. But I take the profits from that and I put it into real things. I put it into gold and silver right now because I don't think real estate is the best time to buy it. Yes, real estate, a lot of people have bought Bitcoin at $1, right? Maybe you bought at $10, maybe at $100. You made millions of dollars. A lot of those people have already gotten out, went and bought their McMansions, right? They put it into real things. And that's what I'm saying to do. You trade the Bitcoin, right? But once you make the profit, get it out of there. Put it into the real stuff. Put it into some gold. Put it into silver. Put it into some real estate. That's the thing that you want to do. Look, it's 17% of Bitcoin has already been lost, right? It's already gone. It disappeared in the fire. Look at James Howell. He's wandering the earth looking for his hard drive so he can get his 8,000 Bitcoin back. Now, here's the thing. They say Bitcoin can't be confiscated by the federal government. I got news for you. They're sitting on about 200,000 Bitcoin. 70,000 of those Bitcoin came from a site called Silk Road, right? Silk Road was a dark net. It's where the drug dealers, they exchange stuff. Well, the federal government seized 70,000 Bitcoin. Now, there was a lawsuit, a case against each other, trying to decide who owned the Bitcoin, right? There was Battleborn Investments. They said they owned the Bitcoin. Judge ruled that the U.S. owns the Bitcoin, gave the U.S. the right to sell. A lot of Bitcoin people are really afraid this last week, thinking Biden might dump these Bitcoin onto the market before Trump gets in there. He might do it. He might do it. I'd be worried if I were in there Bitcoin right now, right? I mean, I think it's going to go up. I don't think Biden's going to sell that, but that's not what you should worry about. Worry about it if, like Michael Saylor, let's say Michael Saylor, when he finally goes bankrupt, and believe me, that company will go belly up, he's going to be liquidating 500,000 Bitcoin. When that comes onto the market, you're going to see an 80% drop overnight. Bitcoin is very dangerous, but that's why I love it. I love gambling in it up and down. Take your profits out of it, put it into real things, right? Okay, so the government, they can sell the Bitcoin if they want, and hopefully they don't do that, because it's going to hurt a lot of you Bitcoin people, but that's just what they're going to do, right? I mean, that maybe they do it this week, maybe they wait for the Donald to get in. Now, the Donald says he's never going to sell his Bitcoin. He's going to have a strategic reserve. My opinion, you'd be much better off with Fartcoin. Look, here's the thing. Here's what people don't get. People don't get this, right? There's Bitcoin, and then there's all these other coins that do the exact same thing. People going, but Mike, you're just a boomer. You don't get it. No, I do get it. Here's the thing. Look, there was a hard fork in Bitcoin, and Bitcoin Cash came off of that hard fork. It does the exact same thing as Bitcoin. Only 21 million in existence of Bitcoin Cash. Same exact thing as Bitcoin. Works better than Bitcoin because it doesn't take as much energy to transact, and the transactions are faster. You can Google this stuff. Look up Bitcoin Cash and find out what that's selling for, right? Selling for about $450. Exact same thing as a Bitcoin selling for $100,000. I know the Bitcoin maximalists, they're going to be yelling and screaming at me that I don't know a thing. And maybe they're right. Don't take anything I say seriously. I'm just a guy that comes on here and goes hooty hoo all day long, right? I mean, why would you take me seriously? But look at that. Bitcoin Cash is better than Bitcoin and trades for $450. Why would you want to buy it at $100,000? You want to buy it at $100,000 because it's more volatile. You can do some gambling, but once you take the profits out, put it into the real stuff, put it into the gold, put it into the silver, put it into real estate. I'm all in favor of that. Give me the thumbs up if you like this, but get out there. Enjoy your weekend, everybody, and we'll talk again real soon. Bye-bye now.